Let's start pushing the plastic tool by animating an animal with a soft body shape. Select the geometry tool with the ellipse function and draw a large ellipse right in the middle of the scene. Select the control point editor tool and begin to add points here and here, adjusting the Bezier handles to form a worm-like shape. From the Level palette, create a new style and give it this shade, a worm-like color. Then use the Fill tool to fill the shape. Select the Plastic tool, then create a mesh, keeping with the default settings. This time we'll leave the mesh in its all-flexible state. Disable the visibility of the mesh and then choose Build Skeleton, placing a node beneath the worm and then reselecting it each time we place an additional node in the worm. Add 2 additional nodes to manipulate the head later on. Select the first frame in the Mesh column and then select the Editor tool from the Tool panel. Choose Center and then move the center to the tail of the worm. Choose the Scale option and scale the worm down. Select the Position option and move the worm to the left-hand side of the screen. Click the first frame in the next available column and then select the Geometry tool with the Line option and draw a ground plane horizontally across the screen. Extend the number of frames in the first 2 columns to frame 30. Click the first frame in the Mesh column, then select the Plastic tool and zoom in on the worm. Now extend this column to match the other 2. Choose the Animate mode from the Plastic tool and begin to adjust the nodes, giving the worm its final shape. Select frame 6 in the Mesh column and begin adjusting the worm's nodes to give him his crawling shape. Note that the onion skin is extended to frame 1 only. Use the X-Sheet frame slider to check your animation between the 2 keyframes. These 2 keyframes are all we need to create a cycle of the worm crawling across the screen. To do this, Shift-select the first keyframe symbol, then drag it to frame 12 as shown. Adjust the onion skin so that it extends to frame 6 only. Select frame 12 in the Mesh column, then select the Editor tool and position the worm so that it matches its onion skin. The inch worm has completed its first inch forward. Click the key symbol on frame 12 and then shift-drag it to frame 18. By shift-dragging a key symbol to the frame we want, we're actually copying it there. Select frame 24, then drag the worm to match its onion skin. Now shift-drag the key symbol on frame 18, copying it to frame 30. Now extend each column to frame 36. Zoom the view out so that we can see more of the worm's trajectory. Now press the loop icon in the playback controls to see your animation repeat in real time. This may be a bit fast for our worm. Let's change the frames per second to 12. This really is more his speed. Extend all the columns to frame 48 so that we can have a few more worm cycles. Shift-drag the key symbol on frame 24, copying it to frame 36. Then use the Editor tool to move the worm to match its onion skin. Shift-drag the key symbol on frame 30, copying it to frame 47. Then shift-drag the key symbol from frame 36 and copy it to frame 48. Using the Editor tool to move the worm to match its onion skin. Right-click in the scene to deactivate the onion skins, then press the loop icon to see your worm crawl across the screen. It only takes a few minutes to construct a long journey for a worm.